We've had an incredible championship Sunday here in Real Club Valderrama. After an exciting 18 holes, Crusher and Lahiri were on the cusp of victories before Anirban missed his par putt on 18 to force a dramatic double playoff for the first time in LIV Golf history. Hometown team Fireballs GC and Sergio Garcia are our Valderrama champions. We will digest that all and more right here in Club 54 post-round show. Welcome to Club 54 post-round show. I am your host, Christian Crosby, and joining me are the one and only Suan Hang and Dom Boulay. Welcome. OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in LIV Golf history. I am so pumped up right now. How are you guys feeling?
I mean, every Sunday I feel like I've seen it all, but I haven't seen it all. I think I've seen it all now. I mean, I feel badly for Anirban.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, after birdieing 17, it was a remarkable birdie too. He was in a divot for his third shot, hit a great third, and beautiful putt. And then to hit a good drive on 18, and then a good second, and a pretty decent first putt. I thought I was getting ready to start interviewing him or get my questions ready to interview, and then that happens.
Yeah, and you know, it's hard losing it individually, but it's even harder when you have the entire team as well, and costing the team basically another win. That's a difficult one to get over, I think, and he literally had it in his pocket. Even most of the Crushers team had the champagne about ready to go.
Yeah.
And no, we all went back to the 18th tee, and you know, the way it finished, it was a bit of a fairy tale finish for the Spanish people for sure.
It's live sport.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we watch it for. It's compelling.
Well, it all started with that par putt on 18, that heartbreaking miss with Anirban Lahiri. Here is the replay of that. Talk us through that moment, Dom. How much pressure is going through Anirban's mind with this putt here?
Well, obviously the world is on his shoulders there. And he's had so many close calls in the last 2-3 years out here that I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to get over this, but he will. He's a tough character.
Yeah, I mean, he lost in a playoff in Boston and then came so close in Chicago. His teammate Bryson came and shot a crazy low round on a Sunday to get it from him. I mean, that is just something that, as golfers, we know is going to scar you for a very, very long time.
And it's somewhat ironic that Sergio's been through exactly what Anirban's been through a couple of times this year also. It's ironic that it's Sergio that was the one who ended up victorious today.
Well, definitely heartbreaking for Anirban, but I'm sure the fans here in Andalucia couldn't have wanted more of what they got today in that individual playoff between hometown champ Sergio Garcia. Let's talk about that playoff. I mean, unreal. Here are some moments from it. Dom, Suan, take us through it.
Well, third time's a charm, isn't it?
Yeah. That was a great... He hit an unbelievable second shot through under the trees to get it where he was remarkable. And, you know, Sergio, we've seen him miss a few of these in the past, but that was absolutely clutch.
Yeah, and then the second playoff hole, Bond, this is for his third. That was a very difficult pitch.
You know, these greens,
no control.
These greens are burnt out. I mean, there's no friction on the ball, and it's coming over a little ridge, and it's just racing away from the pin down the slope into the back row. And this putt from Sergio, goodness me, it required the touch of a surgeon. It really did. It was a tougher angle than Anirban's. It was coming over the high part of the ridge, and it was super slick down there to get it, 3 feet from the hole? Remarkable touch.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't have wanted to be with, you know, Bond in that stage. You're going up against a guy who's had a great track record here at Valderrama. He knows how to win. He's talked about how comfortable and confident he is out here. To go up against him with a crowd that's rooting for him, you know, it's just that everything was going Sergio's way today.
It's fitting, isn't it? Sergio's first win in Spain on his favorite golf course with his whole family around him. His dad has been here all week. His dad carries a club. Every time he watches Sergio plays, it's his lucky charm.
Oh, wow. I love that. Now, he is no stranger to playoffs. 3 playoffs, 3 heartbreaks, and finally he gets the win at home. This has to be doing wonders for his confidence right now. Would you say that?
Oh, goodness me. Hey, look, tee to green. he's probably amongst the top 3 in the last 25 years, and every single year. It's remarkable. His putter has let him down. You know, it's common knowledge, and it's just beautifully ironic and fitting that he's here and winning.
You know what's so beautiful about that moment that we just saw there? You know, when he lost in both playoffs this year, I think we all thought, is he ever going to recover? Is he ever going to win? Is he ever going to close it out on LIV and finally cross that finish line? And today, when he 3-putted his final hole, I was with him on the 3rd. It was a very similar thing to Miami. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. Now, let's take you back.
Here's Sergio Garcia's playoff run, as we just spoke about the 3 playoffs that he's lost here. Suann, continue, take us through this journey.
Yeah, I mean, we were all there on the 18th green. It was dark, and, you know, that was just taken right away from him, Sergio, and I think we all felt very happy for Joaquin, but we all felt for Sergio. And then this in Miami, the 18th hole at the Blue Monster is not easy. It is so intimidating. He played it pretty much textbook all day.
But you know what all those 3 courses have in common? You got to be a ball striker. Miami, Mayakoba, and this golf course. And, you know, like we've been saying, he's a premier ball striker. Has been his entire career.
And here are some of his winning moments again from today. As you guys watch there, talk me through the emotion that you see here with Sergio Garcia.
I think so much of it is redemption. That really is. It's so much of it is redemption. It's proving to himself that he can do it. He still has his A game at his age. He's been around for decades. He's won in every single decade, and he's proving to himself right there that I still have it. I can compete with the best in the world.
There's joy, there's relief, there's elation, jubilation, and Suann says redemption. And look, just a few weeks ago at the US Open, he finished in a tie for 12th place. The guy's still elite.
He's absolutely on fire, no pun intended. But let's talk about Fireballs GC and that team playoff where they just secured a victory against a very talented Crushers GC. Here are some highlights from these special moments. Take us through it.
Well, Ancer, obviously some great success with playoffs this year. He won in Hong Kong in a 3-way playoff. Middle of the fairway, middle of the green. He's got so much experience. Great pick, by the way, by Sergio picking Ancer. Is a straight hitter, very consistent. And then Puig from the front of the green. Of course, he has the home crowd for him, right? It's got to feel good. But that is a clutch first putt.
Yeah, absolutely. From that position, that was even better than Sergio's.
Now, Bryson, you know, he, off the tee, he was going to go with the 5-wood, and then he switched to a 3. He wanted to try and get it down as far down as possible. It just didn't quite draw it and put himself in a really bad spot. And so did Paul Casey. Yeah, he took a 3-wood and just hit it too far left. But then this is Ancer. Really didn't need to make that putt at that point because Bryson had missed his par putt. So, I mean, it's so clutch for the Fireballs. You know, it's their very first win for the season. They won a couple of times already previously, but to have the first one with the crowd for them, it's got to feel pretty sweet, especially their captain winning as well.
It's so fun. This is the win Fireballs GC has been looking for. Champagne showers, the smiles, the excitement. You love to see it. It really does feel like a storybook ending here in Valderrama. What do you say about this moment as you look at it, as you see Sergio raise that trophy up?
Well, Arlo's not going to like hearing this, but double Spanish win here. Alcaraz won Wimbledon. The writing's on the wall for England tonight, isn't it? It's a Spanish victory tonight.
Well, we're going to keep this going. Sergio Garcia not only had an incredible playoff today, but he had an incredible day. So let's take a look at some of his highlights throughout the day here in Championship Sunday. Take us through the highlights, ladies and gentlemen. Sergio Garcia.
This is his second shot here on the 9th. I tell you what, he was flawless all day. He was bogey-free for most of the day, right up till the 3-putt on his final hole. And if we talk about his ball striking, you know, it's underrated. People take it for granted because he's been around for so long. He's been so good for so long. But this golf course, you can't afford to miss a golf shot. It will punish you, and you gotta play so smart, so patient, and he's the man for this job. He knows this place so well. Another wonderful iron shot. When you watch Sergio on the range, and I'm sure, Dom, I'm sure you're gonna agree with me, it is so impressive, the sound that he makes, the different patterns that he makes.
Yeah, the divot pattern is absolutely identical every day you see him hit balls, you know. It's not heel heavy or toe heavy, it's just that perfect little like bacon strip, just little bacon strips all day long. It's remarkable.
Hey, you know, I was talking to someone on his team. Apparently he doesn't have a physio, he doesn't go through anything, he just... Sometimes he hits 5 balls, sometimes he hits 10. He doesn't really have a full pre-game routine. He's very much of a field player, and that's what you really need to have here at Valderrama. You need to be very creative. You need to see your shot, feel your shot, and then produce the shot.
Well, let's take a look at that individual leaderboard as Championship Sunday comes to an end here in Andalucia. As we take a look at this leaderboard, there's Sergio Garcia at the top. Dom, talk to me nice. What do you see here?
Well, I see a few guys who are heading over to Troon who performed very well this week. John Rahm, another top 10. Tyrrell Hatton, right near the top, was in contention all week. And I tell you how hard these guys work. Just moments ago, who was on the driving range after play? Bryson DeChambeau. He was still on the driving range after the playoff, working on his game. He's going to be flying later tonight. But that's how hard these guys work, and that how much everything means to them.
What an incredible and exciting day there. We're going to keep talking more about it, but the Open Championship begins this upcoming week at Royal Troon, and 17 LIV players will be in the mix. And as you can see, there's beautiful shots here at the wonderful Andalucia. A cold breeze here, fans still sticking around with excitement.
I've been playing golf since I was a little kid. For me, I would say if you could choose one tournament in the world to win, it would be the Open. It would be a dream come true.
When the Open was in Royal Troon in 2016, where did you finish?
I finished second to Henrik Stenson. We had a great duel. It was a fun event.
It'd be a lot of fun coming back there. 8 years flies by, I guess, and a lot of great memories. Yeah, it's got all that history and tradition, so it's great playing in the Open. Never mind managed to win one, so always great to come back and play an Open Championship.
My first Open I played was at Troon back in 2004. It's different playing in the Open. It's the championship you want to play in.
I like Troon. It's tough. It requires quality golf. You got to drive it well. There's a lot of trouble if you miss.
You just have to be very creative in the wind and very patient too. The weather can be tricky at times, so just wait for a nice little spell and hopefully you get a couple of birdies.
I think the history of the Open is what makes it so special and how it's more global. You know, the Masters plays a big part of my aspirations and my dreams. But the Open, when I won in 2013, had a bigger effect, I felt, as I went to different places throughout the world.
As you can see, those guys will all be 17 LIV players will be competing at the Open Championship at Royal Troon. Will be very exciting to take a look at those guys compete there. All right, joining us is our favorite trio here. We have Gonzalo Fernandez Castaño and my boy Jerry Fultz. And honestly, I'm at a little loss for words because I just got the chills watching for the first time ever the double playoff here at home. Sergio Garcia, Anirban Lahiri, Fireballs GC, Crushers GC. I mean, can you guys just give us a little take on how you're feeling right now after such excitement?
I want to hear from you first. You were watching as an interested fan.
What a day for Spanish sports. I mean, Alcaraz getting the job done in Wimbledon, now the Fireballs and Sergio. I mean, that was great TV. So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the Crushers and Anirban winning, and all of a sudden, then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Anirban on the last. I mean, It was great watching.
Yeah, it was great TV. It was great for the fans. It wasn't great for the Crushers. It wasn't great for Honorbahn. I mean, you can't describe the disappointment he's going to live with for a long time in that putt. It's not going to affect who he is. He's a solid human being. He knows golf is what he does, not who he is. But that's going to sting for a while. And then we get to the play, or we get walking down that 18th hole in regulation. Because of the nature of LIV Golf, you cannot manufacture more pressure on one person than making par for your team to win and for you to win. We've had a putt before for the team to win and the player to win by 2.
Right.
Wasn't the case, or the team to tie and the player to win by 1. Either way. But this one was everything on the line for one guy, 18-inch putt, and the nerves got the better of him right there. That was tough to see, but then it gave Sergio a chance at redemption after 3-putting the last hole, very similar to Miami, as we talked about earlier, and that was great in front of the home crowd.
Well, I think what excites me about LIV Golf and the team play is we've seen this with Rippers GC, right? When the team wins at home, you see how much that hometown energy really impacts a team, and I saw that with Fireballs GC today. Shall we take a look at some of their highlights?
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
of course. All right, Jerry, take us through it. Gonzalo, take us through it as well. This is Fireballs GC.
Tell me if I say it right. Eugenio Chikara.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Eugenio Chikara at number 5, his second shot. Kid's so loaded with talent.
It's lots of good irons today. I mean, the problem is when he gets in trouble, he always seems to miss on the bad side. But I mean, some quality shots out there from the Madrilenian.
Abraham Ancer at number 14, his second shot. That's likely the same club that he chucked into the trees a couple of holes later, but nonetheless, gorgeous shot right there.
I've learned. I was watching. I like the swing. I like the way he tossed it. I mean,
it was good. The double-handed sidearm toss. Usually you do that for distance, not accuracy, and he managed to get both. David Puig, his third at 17, spinning it back there for a very routine uphill birdie putt, and then Sergio on the tee at 12.
That was probably the shot of the day. Almost hold it. I mean, that hole playing downwind was short right then. That was absolutely amazing.
I'm not sure that didn't kiss the flagstick right there on the second hop and kept it out of the hole. And then we'll just go with the American pronunciation. Gino Chikara at number 10, his second shot.
Jerry.
Another beauty here at 10. Very tricky position there as well. I mean, we saw a few players, I mean, spinning it back all the way to almost to the lake.
Yeah, it was just all around a special day.
And you gotta love this celebration. Sorry to cut you off there, Jerry. There's Sergio Garcia raising that LIV Golf trophy up high. The CO2, the excitement, the champagne. You gotta love to see it here.
Local heroes.
Gonzalo, let me ask you, how does it feel to see this moment happen here in Spain?
You know, I think it's great. I mean, it just shows you all the good things about the league. I mean, it's all about the teams. It's all about the camaraderie. And you know, one of the best moments for me was when they were embracing Bryson and Anirban, the whole team just trying to consolidate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the spirit of what these guys share in common as LIV League members and as professional golfers. We just saw the tweet, and tell me why Sergio isn't playing in the Open. Gut rocks, that day is coming. It's not here yet. He tried. He didn't make it in the qualifying, but he went down trying, and his days at the Open aren't done yet. Those days are coming. Everybody's coming around to the same page here shortly, and we'll see that in not too distant future.
Now, do you think that this takes any confidence away from Crushers GC or Bryson at all, or do you think they should look back and say, this was amazing for our team, this is good for us?
Yeah, to an extent, yes. Obviously they played great, and they're a great team, and they know it, and they feel like they should win every week. They're all crushed, no pun intended, for Honorbahn. Absolutely crushed, and they will be there to support him. I mean, he was quite emotional after the end of the playoff, and you can tell when he was hugging his captain and the other teammates.
Yeah, I actually saw Bryson on the range right after he went out there. Let's take a look at a clip here. And, Gonzalo, I would love to hear from you as well, just how you feel about Crushers GC and Bryson and how they did today.
Well, you know, I really feel for Anirban. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I mean, that pad, it was a little gypsy on you could tell. I mean, it was right to left, but it wasn't a smooth stroke. And of course, the pressure is there when you're playing for a team. It's not only individual. You're playing for 3 more guys, and it's not easy because we are not used to that.
And to put yourself in that position in a LIV Golf League event against this field is extremely difficult, and you know it. And that's what's going to make it sting for the longest time, because he was there. He had it. and he gave it away.
Jerry Gonzalo, when you are in that moment where you have a huge pressure shot, what is your personal tactic to keep yourself focused, calm, and at peace?
He's had a lot more than me, but I'll go with mine first. I had a 3-foot putt to win the only significant event I won in my very unillustrious career. I looked down and my putter was shaking, and I just thought to myself what an old college golf coach and dear friend told me once: it's okay for your hands to shake as long as your mind is still.
Wow, you gotta love. Now,
what about you?
I like it. I just like to embrace the moment. It's nerve-wracking for me before the shot, but once I get on top of the shot and start my routine, it's just like my comfort zone. I seem to enjoy it.
And there's a tweet right there of, "You are a champion, Anirban, no matter what happened today." I completely agree with that. I think he did a phenomenal job throughout the entire day. It was so much fun to watch, Jared.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he can hold his head high. Like I said, it's going to sting for a while. You can't get around that. You're not going to forget about it for a while. He can hold his head high. But he is a true gentleman of the sport, and everybody who plays the game respects him for that.
We just had a shot of the crowd there gathered around Sergio Garcia and Fireballs GC. It's a beautiful sight here in Andalucia. Let's pull up the individual standings here. Jerry, I would love to hear from you. Gonzalo, feel free to jump in too.
Well, Waco's lead shrunk a little bit over John Rahm, but he still will leave LIV Golf UK, our next event, as #1. He's more than 40 points, barely more than 40 points ahead of Rahm. Sergio jumping up there into the money spot. Remember, it's 18, 8, and $4 million in the year-long bonus pool. That is significant. And Terrell Hatton is of the 17 guys going, he's the guy, if I were a betting man, I would bet on next week at the Open, because his driver is money right now, and the rest of his game's always solid.
He was making a move this morning. I thought he was going to be the man, but Anirban hung in there even though he didn't have his A game, and there we go. I mean, anything can happen in Manchester in 3 weeks.
And let's not forget the undefeated senior major champion Dickie B now climbs inside the coveted lock zone, and he has to still play well to stay there, but that's pretty awesome.
Blandy Savage, is that who you're talking about?
Blandy Savage.
All right, let's love the polo, by the way. All right, let's take a look at the team standings now. Jerry, do what you do best. Love to see it. Crushers GC still at the top there. Legion 13. Jerry, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, for the people who understand the league, the first 3 spots, there's no financial reward for finishing those 3 spots, but there's a huge reward in that you get to miss the quarterfinals of the team championship. You take a day off, and then your team only has to play 2 rounds of golf. Very well, but 2 rounds of golf to win that team championship, and that is very lucrative and very prestigious to the guys who compete within LIV Golf League. Fireballs only move up to 6. I had them at 5th, but nonetheless, they're in striking distance for one of those spots.
Now let's talk a little bit about the Open that we have coming up. We have 17 LIV players in the Open. I would love to hear from you guys your predictions. Who out of our guys do you think is
I already went with Hatton.
Really well?
What about you?
Hatton is a very good pick. I'm going to go for Neiman.
Are you?
Yeah,
that's a good pick too, and he's playing well.
He can control his trajectory. I mean, that's key when you play links. I love that low chaser he can hit.
There is one guy who finished 6th at Augusta National in the style of golf that is. He finished 2nd, barely by a shot to Xander Schauffele at Valhalla. Way different style of golf to Augusta National. Then he wins at Pinehurst, which is an extremely different style of golf, and the closest in America, I believe, to the style of golf that's going to be played at Troon, and that, of course, Bryson DeChambeau.
And Troon is where Henrik Stenson won the Open as well, right? How about him?
Two-person race, one of the most epic Open championships in history with Phil Mickelson.
Definitely. I mean, it would be the equivalent to the Battle of the Sun between Nicklaus and Watson. Yeah. That was the Battle of Troon. I mean, they played some phenomenal golf. I think that the third was like 11 shots behind.
11 behind second.
11
I think
behind
14
second.
Behind first. Yeah.
Now, could you guys actually talk to me about how much the conditions are going to be different there?
Well, believe it or not, I'm going to be caddying next week.
You what?
Really?
Yes, You're looping?
I'm
a man of many talents.
I thought you were doing well.
I'll be looping next week. I've checked the forecast, and it's not looking pretty. And they had a very wet winter, so I'm sure the rough is going to be heavy. The course is they've lengthened the course quite a bit from 2016. So I think Troon is going to be a beast.
Tell our viewers and your fans why you're looping.
I'm looping because a player that I'm coaching, Luis Masabeu, he's playing, he qualified. Actually, he beat Brendan Grace in the playoff at St. Ports. So sorry, Brendan, but yeah, I'll be there. See how it goes. I'm at the other side of the bag this time.
I'm going to be watching TV, just looking for you out there looping. Is it a big bag?
Loop. I hope not.
Well, our next LIV Golf event is at JCB. Obviously, it's LIV UK. How excited are we for that? Let's talk about it a little bit. Jerry.
It's pretty cool. I hear this is a really special place up in, I don't know the regional or whatever term they use to describe that part of England, but here it's a special place, a special course, and we are really looking forward to going there. For many of the players, most of the players, it'll be our first time there. We have another home team. You know, 3 out of the 4 Majestics are English players. You never know.
And we also have some fans that can win $100,000.
That's
true.
Right? And a party hole.
That's correct. Have you signed up to be a LIVX member yet? It's easy. Just scan the QR code and off you go. You might just win $100,000. I wasn't lying. Right at LIV Golf UK in a couple of weeks, if a player makes a hole-in-one at the party hole Jerry mentioned. Again, sign up to be a member, then be on the lookout for all of the information coming your way.
Enjoy watching the best players in the world, you've come to the right place.
Can't top this.
Let's go! Oh, yes!
As you can see, that beautiful sight there, Valderrama, what an incredible course. So much fun to watch the guys today. Let's talk more about JCB and more to expect. It will be my first time, so explain to the fans who may be viewing who have never experienced it, what are we looking forward to seeing there?
Well, I've never been there either. Most of the players haven't been there. I've just heard so many great things about the course and the family and the company behind the course. Yeah, that's going to be special. We're staying in a pretty nice place. The one thing that always takes me a little getting used to when I go to the UK is how small the country roads are. You know, we're used to big wide roads. Even here in Spain, they're big wide roads, and there you're ducking and dodging in a little car with a stick shift, and it's quite the sport.
And not only that, and they drive on the wrong side.
That part's pretty easy. That part actually is pretty easy. But yeah, the ducking and dodging, I'm not used to that. But I look forward to the people. I look forward to the food. You got the most sophisticated golf fans probably in the world, most knowledgeable golf fans in the world in the UK. So it's pretty cool.
Well, before we get out of here, you know what I'm going to ask you to, right?
What you gonna
Final thoughts of our incredible time here in Valderrama. I mean, we saw our first double playoff ever. Gonzo, you up first.
First double playoff, only 8 players on the par. It's been a great week. The weather's been nice. What a display of golf. What a finish. I think I couldn't have asked for a better show than the one they put today, these guys.
Yeah, Gonzo, what a day for Spain, by the way. Sorry to cut you.
That's all right.
And we still haven't finished. We have to finish the job tonight on the football.
They're going for Spain's Sunday Slam. They've got 3 titles. They're going for 4 of 4. That would be
triple
pretty
crown.
Cool. Yeah.
Pretty insane. Jerry, last words. What you got for us?
I'm just proud that my predictions finally came right.
Of course, Jerry. Well, thank you guys for watching Club 54 post-round show. We'll see you at London and LIV UK. Get your $100,000. Until then, peace.